good afternoon, Jason. You are on mute. So very good. Excellent. So Marty, you're in charge for the next 25 minutes.
Oh, I'm in charge, Jason. I don't know. Well, listen, it's a pleasure to introduce really the motorsports world, kind of the greater motorsports world, even to a lot of off-road racing folks, to Jason Robinett. He is very happily to say not one of the old school guard like I am. He's new to all this in a lot of ways. Is bringing just a lot of excitement to the whole industry, to off-road racing specifically, and what he's building and what he has built in the last 4 years. And Jason, it's great to see you. It's great to see you here in this racing week that we're working on.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So why don't you want me start? Maybe just kind of have all our attendees kind of get a little feel of kind of where you came from. Like I said, you weren't an old school desert racer like I was when I was a kid and been hanging on. You kind of came into this from the business world, and now you're squarely in it. And I think we'd like to hear that story.
I'm the new guy in the industry here for sure. Basically, there's multiple things that we've gotten involved in as we started this. It started out as a park that turned into basically an off-road resort on our ranch that we have here in Northeast Oklahoma. We've got a 1,600-acre property up here, and we used to have some show cattle, different things, business side of that, and pretty much kind of dabbled in the off-road world, but not really into it as any more than just an enthusiast hobby kind of thing. And we own several different businesses. We come from 17 different companies that we own between us, and all of those businesses kind of brought back the opportunity to see some investment opportunities in the off-road world, kind of how all that came about. So we started off with the park. It's grown very rapidly over the last 3 years. We kind of
we need to reset that, because there's off-road parks out there. What you're building on 1,600 acres in Oklahoma is not a park. And I haven't been there yet, hoping to come in next year, but it's a Disneyland for off-roading. Why don't you explain what infrastructure you put in and the magnitude and scale of this place?
Well, we've got roughly around 100 cabins in place. We've got close to 300 RV sites with another 600 full hookups going in, and about 3,000 dry camping spots with that. We've got restaurants, bars on the property. We've got lazy river, a couple swimming pools, RC tracks. We're adding a drift car track. We've got a short course track. We've got hill climb areas where if you're into the hill climb side of things, the bouncers and the hill climbs, we do a lot of that. We hold the bigger finals are normally here for that. Our short course series, we have roughly about 230 to 240 entries once a month whenever we come out here. So we've got a very fast-paced growing short course program. We've got a lot of new things that we're implementing, and then we're in the process of building basically Travis Pastrana and the Nitro Circus and Nitro Rally team, not Nitro Circus, but the Nitro Rallycross team, kind of their home track, their dream track. So it's we've got a big project going on with that, where there's going to be asphalt, there's going to be dirt, there's going to be gap jumps, there's going to be over-unders. It's pretty much, if you can look back at the way the things that Travis Pastrana did, and then you realize that his mind went into the build of this track, it's going to be next level. It's going to be epic. It's the Nitro team is really investing a lot in this program and coming out here. We've got a pit bike series that comes out here, that races out here. But on top of that, we're an enthusiast park as well. So a lot of people call it a resort. So with just the different amenities that we have, we've got a few hundred miles of trails. The state of Oklahoma has allowed and passed it to where we can actually ride the side-by-sides on the road. Speaking of the state of Oklahoma, they've been a huge part of what our growth and where we're headed to. Grand River Dam Authority, the Cherokee Nation, being in the heart of the Cherokee Nation here and the home of the Cherokee Nation. We've got just so many different opportunities and so much support from our local. Local support's just tremendous all the way through the government level. And now we're getting on that national level and kind of expanding outside of there. We acquired Ultra4 this last year. We've technically owned Ultra4 USA for the last, we run that series for the last year, but we've technically owned it for the last few months. And we're growing that program. It's grown pretty fast. We were up, what was we up, Alan? About 18%, I think, on the from where it was at the previous year with our car counts and different things. Everything that we're doing, we are trying to bring a entertainment aspect to everything that we have, from just different things to do as a customer whenever they show up to one of our races, one of our events, that it's not just a race. We're actually holding an event that actually has a race going on inside of it. The opportunities that we're bringing to marketing partners, the different things that we're doing there. We've, like I said, the Nitro Rallycross series coming here. That's going to be a huge advantage to this area and what it brings to our community here. And then we also have Champ Off-Road, the ISOC series, the Amsoil series coming here and doing the national finals. You guys hold that world finals there at Crandon, which is man, that's the big house, like you said, and excited to be a part of that with Ultra4.
Yeah.
So it's the park itself, the resort, it's just a growing. We've got a 5-year plan that's just continues to grow. So we have our own side-by-side series and that we're looking to in the future to actually become a national level player with moving that and unifying stuff across the country in the off-road world, but more importantly, the outdoor world. We do things from music festivals to we've got overlanding stuff coming up. We've got Grand Lake right here that is real close to us. That is has 1,300 miles of shoreline. It's one of the top fishing lakes in the country. There's Bassmaster tournaments. I think there's an average of about 240 professional fishing tournaments. We host and help sponsor some of those fishing tournaments as well. We've got a music festival that's on the water that comes out there. And then, like I said, we've got a fully national state-of-the-art stage area and concert area coming to the park as well. Another series that kind of comes through here is we have the Lifted Truck Nationals comes here for that event. That was kind of a big, wasn't really for sure. We held the first one here this last year, and I'll be honest with you, it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be another huge event that's added to our portfolio of what we host and what we do. We don't own that event, but we're huge advocates, huge supporter of it, and people come from all across the country. This park actually, I think it's 87% of the people that come to this park are from out of state. So we're our last race, I think we represented 30 something different state racers from 30 different states, as well as probably another 15 states that were covered in the US, that we even have racers that come from Australia, racers that come from Canada that race our MAO series. Right. And then, like I said, Ultra4, I mean, they're from all over racing that as well. So
yeah, so I'm unpacking some of this. I mean, there's a lot right there.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's a lot. But what's interesting to me is you've kind of adapted this idea that some of the promoters in off-road have now, essentially, and you can credit, Dave Cole, King of the Hammers. You can credit Matt Martelli at the Mint 400. You can certainly credit Crandon on some level to actually bring the different cultures in and just concentrate on having one amazingly big cross-cultural weekend with music, with lifestyle. In fact, your whole, it's not called, MidAmerica Off-Road, it's MidAmerica Outdoors for that very reason. I think you're seeing that vision. I think, if I'm correct, and I think, and the question is why Jay, Oklahoma, but it sounds like why not? You've got sport, you've got space.
It's our home. It's our home too. We all live here on the property. Right. It's a family run business. It's that's the great thing about it is growing some of my businesses. I lived on the road about 300 days a year, growing, doing what we're doing. And I watched my kids grow up from a distance. I really did for quite a few years. And, being able to do this with my family, my kids, just what a blessing to be able to actually have that and to be able to create something that is truly has an identity and a place in this world. And, it has the traction to really continue to grow, not just what I've done, but just pulling these programs together and really trying to just get a huge market base for the industry to live at is kind of our goal. It's not just about what MidAmerica is doing or what Jason's doing or, the whole team. It's literally about pulling the industry together and creating those opportunities for not just the customers, but for the racers and for our marketing partners.
So that brings us to a good point. And without, I'm sure it's going to ruffle some feathers, and that's fine because you kind of are one of those disrupting people, which I really like and enjoy, and get some fresh opinion, a fresh outlook at.
Are you being really nice to me right now?
Yeah, no, I am anyway. But the question is though, so the sport as a whole has been around for 55 years, let's say, with big long events, Cran in 54, the Baja 1000 at 50, whatever number it is now, since 67. I mean, you have all the Mint was around, but what has the sport as a whole missed from a business perspective that's kind of stunted its growth too? It's evergreen, it's still youth driven, but what's it missing? Or what has it missed all this time?
Well, that's where I feel like my asset is in this whole thing is all of these different genres in the off-road world as a sport, they're all the same people. They're all the like-minded. They're all individuals that have the heart and the passion to go out and do this. The one thing that I'm doing different, I don't know that it's technically that anybody else is doing anything wrong or that I'm doing something right where they're not, is I'm trying to create this opportunity to actually cross-market these different genres of off-roading so that there's an actual bigger picture and bigger opportunity and the growth doesn't come within what you already have. The growth has to come from the outside. And that's where I think that a lot of people kind of maybe miss it a little bit as far as that they're not looking for that growth. They're always looking from the inside and their own passions to raise that growth. And the reality of it is I use this scenario all the time, but the deadliest catch. You get all these people, it's a great show, everybody's heard of it, they all go out there and watch it, but they don't, I've never been deep sea fishing in the Bering Strait or crab fishing in the Bering Strait up there. Most of the people that watch it hasn't, but their growth comes telling a story and bringing that average person in and telling these stories. And it's great racing and it's great opportunities to get out there, but how do you tell that story? How do you bring the people that has nothing to do with off-roading into that spectrum to make it a value to actually for the marketing partners to be able to invest what they need to invest into those programs? That growth has to really come from outside these programs that are already in place. And so as a business person, that's where I see opportunity, and that's the reason I'm investing the way I'm investing. What I'm doing is because I see opportunity and growth that isn't always been taken here. And it's not a strategy that's mine. It's just kind of how a lot of marketing's done. It's how big can you get? How can you pull all of these different genres that realistically they're the same people. They should be marketing together. They should be out there supporting each other and bringing that enthusiasm and the different people into it and just pulling it together. It's not really, like I said, I don't have any master plan. It's just something that I see opportunity at that we're trying to promote and do. So
yeah, I mean, I think you've got a couple things that are in place right now in the current market. Thankfully for all of us, the side-by-side UTV phenomenon has been a new portal into the whole off-road culture, right? Trail riding, racing, that didn't exist before. So it was kind of these trucks and Jeeps and off-road cars. I think that's a big part of this. And then the other part that you mentioned, and we just found out the news today about our friends over at Speed Sport. You know, they've come on to, they helped us at Crandon do some great work, you know, great live feed, which revolved into, you know, we had 26 hours of live streaming and 9 hours of network television from Crandon. It was also part of the Speed Sport programs and MAV TV. You worked with them at the last race you guys had. You know, I think those two things are going to, like you said, going to help the tour. I mean, I'd much rather go off-roading than being in the Bering Strait catching fish.
Exactly.
It's not very fun to me, but I don't know. But I watch the show. It's like watching the Gold Rush show, right? Watching gold miners. That looks like kind of fun too. So, but I think you're onto something that I think that's part of it. And then blending in the entertainment aspects of it, which, you know, we started to, which, you know, some of these events have started to do in a much bigger way. I mean, even in 2019, when we brought Kid Rock to Crandon for our 50th, we saw that was 15,000 new people essentially who weren't necessarily there for the race. We had some spectators, yeah, and some campers, yes, but there was a lot of outside people. So
Absolutely.
I think you're doing this, you're feeling the same thing.
Absolutely. It's there's opportunity everywhere. There really is. And we've been very blessed in the fact that this isn't how we make our living. We're able to invest in this community and invest into the off-road community and the outdoor community and these different programs, and really be able to see a change to where we can fight through those battles. Because I mean, when you're starting these businesses and you're growing them, I mean, it's an uphill battle. It's you know, you are stepping on those toes. You are getting over there and you're trying to figure out who actually agrees with your program and is okay with it. Then, you know, you're offending people as you go along too. And that's not the intention, but it happens. And I think that bringing some of this stuff together, it's just something new to the program, and everything can always use a fresh breath, you know, of anything coming on. And when I see that opportunity, whether it's me or somebody else, we want to support it as our program as a whole. We want to support everybody in the community. This isn't about MidAmerica. We want to see other parks, take on more investment opportunities inside multiple parks to grow this whole lifestyle as a whole. And it's you know, yes, it is a different game plan, but my theory is when I go in and I invest in something, it's not only we got to do something different every time. We got to do something different. We've got to do it well. And we've made plenty of mistakes. I'll tell you that much. It's still making them today. I'm definitely this off-road world. It's been a challenge for me to catch up and learn the politics side of things and where it's at. But it's our whole program is not to upset or disturb the programs that are out there. It's actually to elevate all the programs that are in play. So,
and you guys have like a big event, even the Visions event. I mean, that's a big event. I didn't have to ask you, where'd you come up with the name or that? Where'd that come from?
Visions, you've said it a couple times, you know, whenever we've talked and we were sitting there trying to figure out a name, and we're almost like, what do you see? How do you do this vision? And then basically I was just kind of sitting around and I was looking and I'm just like trying to picture things in my head, you know, kind of how it could set up and what we can do. And then I start trying to put myself in and play the people that are going to be on this. I'd always ask them, I'm like, I want this program this event that we're doing. If you're going to come here and you're going to be a part of this event, and you're going to invest in what I'm doing out here, what's your vision to see how this goes? That was always the one thing that I always kept asking everybody, whether it was a racer, whether it was a spectator, whether it was a marketing partner. And then realistically, it was just like when we were trying to figure it out, I'm like, let's just start with visions. We haven't done a very good job explaining what that is yet. I hope to do a better job.
Yeah, but the events caught on. I mean, that's kind of what matters. I mean, you never know.
People are understanding it, but they don't really know where it comes from like that. Right. So it's there is a story behind that, and you know, there's a whole story to be told about what everybody's vision is that comes into the program, and that's what we want to see. Is we want a program that includes and has a home and a place for everybody's vision that comes and is a part of our program. So that's basically what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, you managed to make some big strides. Obviously, like I said, you know, you and I have a partnership through Crandon. You know, it was one of the better things we've done, I think, in the last few years, is to really really bring the Ultra4 racers, first of all, and that culture to the Midwestern short course race that we have at Pastrana Labor Day. Bring the lights in, go night racing. I mean, our fans love it now. It's part of the bigger family. It elevates everything. You know, the vision was that when we started the World Cup anyway with Red Bull. So I totally understand that. But the thing that's really interesting now, so now next year in 2023, you guys will be hosting your first Champ off-road short course race, kind of doing the reverse in Oklahoma, building from what I understand, a crazy great track, but it's also tied in a bit with Travis Pastrana, who's raced at Crandon a couple of times in the last few years as well.
Absolutely.
He loves it there. But why don't you explain a little bit how that all kind of came about and what you're specifically doing with Travis and that group?
Well, as we knew that we were going to invest and grow this year, we had been in discussions already with Champ Off-Road to bring them here, as you said, for one of their races, and it ended up being the national finals. You know, they're trying to expand their program as well. We had some mutual friends that were a part of the Nitro Rallycross. Some of the racers that raced for them also raced here with MAO Racing and with Ultra4 as well. And so the opportunity came up, and they kept hearing about this park, and they're like, we got to get out here to see it. And it was pretty cool. We the Nitro team came out here, and they get out, and it was pretty exciting to me because it was Travis just turns around and he goes, this is it. This is what I've been wanting to do. He was trying to build this in Maryland, and for whatever reasons, it didn't work. And he came here, and I don't know if you've ever met him, or I'm sure you've been around him if he's raced up there.
Yeah.
He's just a normal guy, and he's got big dreams and big visions about everything he wants to do.
Yes.
But he's just a normal guy. And we just sat down, had a conversation, and I said, well, what do you want to do? And he goes, what I want to do is build my dream track. And I said, what does that mean? So conversations continued, and before he left that weekend, and we were like, let's do it. Let's absolutely make it. This makes sense. Let's start putting it together. We got the management teams out here, kind of told them what our game plan was. They got right on board, and the thought of having this whole resort style lifestyle of where they're integrated in everything that's going on, not just the Nitro Rally, but we've got Nitro Circus coming. We've got a big event show that's bringing Dennis Anderson in, and then you've got the drift team with Lauren and Vaughn Gittin, Lauren Healy and Vaughn Gittin, and the extreme guys that Travis brings and follows with him. We've got this combination of so many top tier athletes and kind of some of the trailblazers in the industry on the extreme side of things. And so we're like, man, this is just a great opportunity to pull everybody together and really have that one-on-one interaction where people can come out here and spend the week with all of these stars instead of just seeing them in a show and walk away. They're going to be a part of multiple things that are going on in the park that week. And you know, it's pretty exciting because it's going to be a little bit different than anything they've ever done. It's not just a show. You're actually out there interacting and being here, being a part of these things. They're a part of the party, the entertainment, everything going on. And it's just going to be just a different atmosphere than what's being done. And that's probably what I like about it the most is it's different. You guys are already doing a great job in everything you're doing. So whatever we do, it's got to be different. You know, we need to bring something new, something different to it. So that's the game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you tapped into something. Yeah, he's a normal guy essentially, but
he's not normal up there.
No, but it's not just that. I mean, you watch him, just so as a side note, and a couple of times he's raced at Crandon twice, once in a Pro 2, once in a Pro 4 with Andrew Carlson's team and Chris Carlson's team, the families. And you watch his energy, and you watch his ability to like translate everything he does with the fans and all that. There's a reason why Travis Pastrana is where he is. It's not God gifted talent with all that he does with his riding and driving, but it's more than that. And I think that, I think the fact that you're able to sit down, capture that vision with him, and build what he's always wanted to build in Maryland, which is
it's going to get stupid. It's going to get crazy out here. All the stuff that we've got coming, from the pit bike tracks to the pump tracks, the skate tracks, the trail rides, the different things that we're doing. It's his vision about what we're doing is exactly what this park could represent to its fullest. You know, it's a great opportunity, and we're excited.
And what's exciting too is the fact that now, you know, the Ultra4 phenomenon, which are the unlimited rock racing cars that race at King of the Hammers, which everybody knows about, really has a chance now to have a series and exposure that goes beyond King of the Hammers. They do a great job out there, but the problem was translating it to other places.
Absolutely.
I think Crandon brought in a little bit of that, where, okay, now we've got your second biggest crowd, you know, with 60,000, they have more. But point being is that now there's some momentum behind what you're doing there, which I think is really exciting for the sport as a whole, because that's still, you know, outside the Southwest, where it's a lot of desert centric racing. Ultra4 translates more in the Midwest, certainly in the Southeast, you know, other parts of the country, Northwest. It's more, because of the 4x4 thing, it's a more, I think, understandable by a lot of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, one of these days, our game plan is to, you know, it's Dave Cole does a great job out there with hammers. You guys have that north just locked up with what you guys do. We're working real hard to become a player here. We got to move east too, though. We got to start spreading some of these programs out, and really there's room for all of us in here to elevate this whole thing. You know, it's I've been hearing this a lot lately, but high tide raises all ships. You know, this is all of the people that are investing and bringing this together. You know, we need that for the industry across the board. And I think everybody is really starting to take progress, making progress with where we're headed and what we're doing. So
in a nutshell, kind of to wrap things up, from your perspective coming in, what, be it the people, the vehicles, the history, the heritage, what's been the one like overwhelmingly surprising thing to you coming from the business world that you're in, go into this relative, not obscure, it's been around a long time, and it's a dynamic form, motorsports, it's still got a lot of life in it, but what's been the most surprising, maybe pleasing thing for you about the whole culture, in a sense?
I think the culture is the one thing that it is that I have seen is, like you said, you guys do a great job. Dave has his, Martelli has his thing. You know, we've got the stuff down in Mexico that's going great. The one thing that I've seen is the opportunity of growth that is actually in this overall program. I think our program specifically, and your program, even Hammers, with everything that's gone on in the world and everything that's going on, the one thing that's really surprised me is that people are still investing and engaging, and even probably even more so because they need this lifestyle. They need that escape from everything that's actually going on. And that's probably one of the most surprising things, that the opportunity is there. The opportunity to actually be a part of something big as it continues to grow and continues to feed. You guys are, you know, there's so much room for so much more here, and so much opportunity, that it's really just kind of surprised me at how fast my investment is actually returning, and seeing that actual grow. We're a couple years ahead of where we actually thought we'd be on our actual growth program, and I'm super excited to see where this is actually going to end up. Where I'm at now from a year ago, it just keeps surprising me, and keeps surprising me at the potential and the different things that could be, and the opportunity out there. So,
well, thank you very much, Jason. I'm very sorry I have to jump in.
No, you're good.
To keep the program running, and we could have listened to you for another half hour. And you know, thank you for everything you do, for the energy you bring to the industry, and all the great stuff. So thank you very much, Marty. Great to have you back on the program. We'll have you again tomorrow.
Registering on ePAR Trade is easy. To start, click on the Join for Free button on the homepage. First, search your company to see if it's already in our database. If you see your company on the list, click on it to select it. Then, choose Claim Company if you are one of the decision makers, an owner, marketing person, or main company contact. Or choose Join Company if you are an employee, and press Continue. If you couldn't find your company in our database, select Register a New Company. On the following page, fill out your name, email, phone number, job title, and choose a secure password. If you chose Register a New Company, you'll need to choose your business type. Select Supplier if you're looking to display products or services and connect with buyers. Choose Racing Business if you're looking to source new parts and connect with suppliers. Choose Race Team if you own or are a member of a professional race team. Then, enter your company name. Please provide a website, Facebook page, or LinkedIn if you have one, and choose to either claim or join the company. You can view and agree to our terms of use here. If you'd like to receive our weekly newsletter, choose Accept. Finally, click Register Now and your registration will be submitted for approval. An email will be sent to your inbox. Please confirm your email address and you will be approved shortly. Welcome to ePAR Trade.